Man, how about this weather?
Man, well, this Houston, I'm telling you, Houston weather is bipolar.
Oh, yeah. It was 75 and sunny this morning, and it's 42 and raining now. And tomorrow, we don't know what it might be. It might be scorching hot, and it might be ice cold. You never know.
That's Houston.
That's all right, though.
Born and raised.
I don't mind it.
I'm used to it.
I'm used to it by now.
Yeah, I'm used to it.
Yeah, most people don't know when they come here that it changes every day, every hour.
So I know a lot of y'all coming to Houston, but it's bipolar out here with the weather.
It's
so
fun.
Be prepared.
Yeah, definitely be prepared. Well, welcome back, y'all. Welcome back to the Core Compass Podcast.
I'm excited.
I'm Walker.
I'm Jeremy, and we are super excited for our guest today, and you guys joining us on another episode.
Yeah, our guest today is probably the hardest worker I know.
She's working all the way up until the podcast.
About 5 seconds ago. Yeah. It is our Logistics and HSE manager, Candace Reuter-Acord.
Yeah. Welcome, Candace.
Yes.
Candace is in the building.
Thank you.
We're excited to have you.
I'm like, I can't leave the building.
Yeah.
That's all right.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Y'all have an awesome setup here.
Well, thank you.
That's them. They do all that.
Super intimidating.
We were finally able to lock you down.
Yeah.
So thank you for coming.
Yeah.
So let's just start off with getting to know Candace. So tell us a little bit about you. Tell us about your family, and we'll start there.
Yeah, no, my name is Candace. I'm obviously working here at Core Group. Been here a little over a year and a half.
Okay.
I have a son. His name is Hayes.
He's the best ever.
Hayes, yes, John Hayes. Fun fact, I had his name picked out well before I started having kids.
Really?
He's named after a musician named Hayes Carl.
Yep.
So I just fell in love with the name. It was before it was super cool. You know,
I
you
love
see all
it.
the Hayes now, right?
Yeah.
You had it picked out a long time ago.
Exactly.
How do you spell it? H-A-Z-E?
Hayes.
Hayes.
Yeah.
Hayes. That's different.
And
unique.
It's very unique. And I had that name before I even met my husband, and his name is Blaze.
And I love
So it's kind of ironic. And that's his real name is John Blaze.
Wow. So, Blaze and Hayes Enterprise.
Yeah, pretty much. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I've been with my husband. We actually went to high school together. We're not high school sweethearts. We'll talk about that at a different time.
Right.
Yeah, we graduated Katy High School, class of 2006.
Go Tigers.
Another fun fact, we have the same exact birthday.
Wow.
Same date, same year. So he will never forget my birthday.
No, he will not.
Wow.
That's pretty much it. I mean, we have 4 sisters, nephews, nieces, and during the pandemic, I started a little farm here in Katy. I'm obsessed with farm life, so I got kind of bored. And
I got to go check that farm out.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told my husband, it was random, I had texted him. I was like, guess what I just bought?
Yeah.
And he's like, what? I go, a donkey. So he definitely didn't expect that. So, it keeps us really busy. It's very therapeutic for the life of craziness that we have.
Whose idea was that? Was that yours or?
It was mine.
Okay.
Yeah. So I grew up, my family has a farm that's been around for a really long time. So I've been around farm life, and I was an FFA in high school. So
Wow.
Yeah. So we got a horse named Colonel, and we have Lady May the donkey. I rescued her from North Texas from the kill pens.
Yeah.
And then I have my bull, Little Richard.
You got a bull?
Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah, he came from our big farm, which is in Round Top.
Yeah.
So you got a farm.
Farm.
We're not talking about just donkey, horse, bull.
Yeah, bull and some cows and chickens and roosters.
Everything under the sun. I think there was a book. I think there was a book that had all the animals that she just listed. So
yeah.
Jeez.
So that's pretty much me in a nutshell. When I'm at home, I want time with my family. With my animals, I'd like to go fish and just enjoy my downtime whenever I do get
That's
it.
That's great. That's a lot.
That's an awesome thing.
So next thing I don't think it's going to turn from a farm to a zoo in a minute. Lions, tigers, and bears. Oh my.
Yeah, right.
Gotta get Blaze on board.
Wow.
That's easy.
How old is your son, Candace?
He's 7. He'll
7
be 8
years
this
old.
year.
He
That's
comes up to the
age.
office every now and then.
Yes, and wrecks havoc.
He's amazing.
So I'm like, stop it.
That's all right.
Yeah.
I love when he runs around.
How's it raising a boy? I have one of my own. He's a teenager, so get prepared for that.
Yeah.
It's going to be a significant shift.
I already feel like it is.
Yeah, okay.
Coming from a family of all girls to now we're starting to have boys. It's like, are they supposed to be naked all the time? Why is he not keeping clothes on?
Tarzan running free,
baby. Exactly. And so it's so much fun. I wouldn't even say it's challenging. I think that he's one of the funniest people I know. He loves to play jokes on people. He's a class clown.
He's a prankster.
Yes.
Yeah. He is.
Very much so.
He's got you a couple times?
He has. He's came in here and he'll shoot you with a Nerf gun and run away. He's that type of guy.
He is.
Yeah. He's an awesome kid.
Yeah.
Very strong in his faith. So I actually admire him for that. He goes to a local private school here in Katy. So I look to him sometimes, which probably should be the other way around, but he does humble me when I should probably be humbled.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
He's an awesome kid.
He's a really good kid.
Yeah. And that's a testament to you and your husband pouring that into him.
Thank you.
That's good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So,
that's awesome.
So what led you here to Core Group? How did you get on this amazing carousel?
Right. I feel like there's an ongoing joke. I don't even know if Bob knows this, but I don't even think I applied to Core Group. I think
none of us did.
I think he just called me and said, "Hey, I saw that you applied for this position." And I'm sitting here thinking, I don't really remember that, but sure, I'll come in and talk, you know. And then before you know it, I hear the first day. So, and things have changed so much since I first started. The growth of the company, you know, people coming in that are so talented, such as all of you.
Yeah.
And it goes from, you know, you start, here's your computer box and your monitor, you set it up, good luck. To now we have this great team that puts everything together and makes you feel welcome. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Systems and protocols and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
So.
Do you remember like what your first big project was, or you know, you didn't come in as a recruiter? What did you come in as?
I came in to help with logistics.
With logistics.
So on the crewing side of things, I was still under operations. My background, I've been in oil and gas for a really long time. I ironically tried to get out of it. I wanted to teach.
Okay.
And then it pulled me back in it.
Gotcha.
It got me good, you know. So so I started with the logistics team and I built it from pretty much the ground up to what it is now.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Without the logistics, we don't have.
No, we don't move.
Just like Haley, without accounting, logistics, we don't. We're not here.
When I say I make sure to point that out. You know, I'm on the crewing side, the contractor side, but there's direct hire side. There's payroll, there's operations, there's marketing, there's technology. There's also so many components that keep this machine well oiled and running, and everybody has a very important part, including I hate the word contractors, but the
employees,
guys, the girls that go out there offshore.
Absolutely.
That
we need to think of a new name. We need to think of a new name.
Thank you.
Put Matt Furman on that.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Matt, if you hear this.
That's right.
So do you remember what your first big project was? Like when you first started, do you remember what it was?
I think it was rebuilding the logistics.
Okay.
Because the way it was operating didn't sustain what it was supposed to be. You know, I was having to work extra hours, even more so than I already do. You know, one flight would take 3 hours to book, which that's ridiculous.
Wow.
Working the weekends, I mean, it was taking time away from my family, which is super important to me. So
absolutely.
That was the project of like, okay, what can we do to make this machine run a little bit smoother, operating wise? There's too many holes, there's too many gaps that make it, kind of a uniform thing that everybody benefits from.
Streamlining
that makes
everything.
Sense. That's awesome.
Exactly.
That's awesome. And I'm sure, that took a lot of trial and error. Tell us a little bit about that. Like, what were some bumps in the road? What were some obstacles as you were building this thing out?
Well, I have to say I've been really lucky with leadership, not just here, but in my previous, roles in companies. I talk about my leaders a lot, and I learned a lot from them. You know, they've been directors and they've been in operations for a long time, and so I was able to morph my model around what they did.
Exactly.
Now, trying to get maybe the likes of Core to understand that originally was a little, not challenging. For the most part, I've had a lot of, grace, and they understand and they're supportive. But there were a few suppliers where I'm like, hey, they're a little bit more expensive, but they're benefit for this and this. So that took a couple tries.
It's like, hey, we kind of need this.
Right.
And it was finally when one of our guys wasn't picked up or had to hitchhike to a job. I was like, I think we need to invest in
we might need this.
And our guy, I call them my guys. I was like, I think we need to invest in our guys because that's not okay. You know, I wouldn't want someone in my family to be well, I'm supposed to go on this job, but there's no ride. But how do I get to the heliport?
How do I? Right,
exactly.
Right, I understand.
So I think that would be a challenge, just trying to, it wasn't even a challenge. I think it was just more so saying, hey, this is what I think we should do, but maybe having to reword it a couple times.
Yeah. So. And I mean, for such a growing company, it's like you have to have the plan and execute.
Right.
And that decision making is huge. So it's like, if it don't work, it's like, well, Candace, you brought this in.
I know. What are you doing? Exactly.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, you continue to do a job, and we'll jump a little bit more into that. But with our core values, we always ask this question: which one resonates the most with you?
Okay.
I'm not going to ask you to repeat all of them.
I know.
We've
added some. Subtracted some.
All of them.
Yeah.
Well, which one stands out the most?
I think results oriented and service above self. Probably service above self more so.
Yeah.
Just because it takes a certain type of, I don't even know the right word that I'm trying to think of, but having to be on call constantly. You know, it's nice to have the weekends.
Yeah.
Where you get to have a break and you shut off from your job. I don't necessarily get that just yet.
Right.
So I'm doing HSE, and my team's doing the logistics, and unfortunately and fortunately in this industry, it's nonstop. You know, guys go to and from the rigs and their vessels that happen on the weekends, and weather, bipolar weather, changes that. We're dealing with that today.
That's right.
So I think the results, not results oriented, but service above self, I want to make sure that, you know, my guys are getting where they need to be safely. And by doing so, they're making money, and so are we. So I see the end goal, and I would make that happen no matter what time and day.
Got it.
That's good.
Yeah. You get calls at like 2 a.m.
Yeah, this past weekend it was at 2 a.m. Actually 12 and then 1:30.
Yep.
So,
I mean, I've seen it in action. She's literally taking a call before the podcast.
Oh yeah,
helping somebody walk through.
See, he needed me though, and you heard it. He was thankful for it.
Yeah,
he was.
It's
without you,
so a team effort.
Yeah, he'd be stranded. So that's awesome.
we forgot to bet on her number one core value. Remember, we were supposed to place a friendly wager.
Yeah, that's true. We need.
I'm gonna be honest. I can see service above self with Candace.
I thought it was results oriented.
That's what I was going to do.
Yeah.
I was thinking
that's the one I thought.
And God center. A lot of people say God, but service above self actually it fits her.
Yeah.
What she has to do.
Yeah.
You have to have a selfless spirit to do what she does.
Well,
exactly.
Thanks, y'all. And I think having the service above self kind of then you'll have results oriented. If you have that
one
mindset.
always flows into the other.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
he got out of this bet. Crew, y'all make sure we have a wager before we do this
CGR
question.
casino is coming open.
Please, podcast team, make sure we do that, because we got to do that.
That's a fun bet.
So
it is.
What I do in golf is, so we do a signed dollar bill.
Okay.
That's what we're going to do. We're going to do a signed dollar bill.
Okay.
And basically, if you win, that way you can have it and you can show people, Walker signed this signed dollar bill. That's what we're going to do. That's a Charles Tompkins.
And don't try to cheat either, Walker. Don't try to get your team in these team meetings and ask, what's going to, if we happen to have
them. Oh, no.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
Cheater.
No, I would never.
I've heard stories.
Okay. All right. So I got a fun question for you. Okay. And I heard you were a movie buff. And we're going to talk about your book too, so we'll get into that. But the question is, if your life was a movie, which would be your movie? Okay,
I am doing this question based off my personal life, not my work life.
And I have a double loaded question.
Okay,
what would be the movie, and who would you get to play the role of you?
Okay.
So first question is?
My first question, the movie would be Pride and Prejudice.
Okay.
Which is really random, I know, but I have so many sisters.
Yeah.
And the mom character is pretty spot on for my mom.
I haven't seen that movie.
Yeah. I love the I know there's like it's like the time pieces. So it's, anything England, Scotland, Ireland, I'm obsessed with, but, and it's based off Jane Austen. So, so the mom in that movie is 100% my mom, which is very comical. A lot of girls.
So if I want to know your mom, just go watch that movie.
Yes, 100% my mom.
Watch that movie.
Like, love you, mom, but she won't be listening to this anyways. So
hopefully,
and then she falls in love with a guy that she couldn't stand And so I'm not saying I couldn't stand my husband, but he was really obnoxious in high school, and never in a million years did I ever expect to be with him.
Well, that's most guys. We are obnoxious in high school.
Yeah, right. So,
I agree.
Except for me.
Except for you.
I was mature.
I wasn't.
No, I wasn't.
well, and she's very outspoken. So out of all the sisters, she speaks her mind. And, back then it's kind of frowned upon.
Yeah.
And so out of all of my sisters, I very much so speak my mind. But I also make sure that it tries to be factual. I'm not just trying to, be a certain way for a reason.
Not just overly opinionated.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
And then who would I have play it? So the lead character, her name is Keira Knightley.
Okay.
And I'm obsessed with her acting skills. And so I actually think I would have her play me in that movie. So.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
She knocked that out the park. She knew the movie. She knew the character.
That was easy.
That was easy.
So, Candace, what do you like to do? I know you said you have a farm. We'll get into your author. Later. But what do you like to what else do you like to do outside of work? What else do you like to do just for yourself? I know being a mom is a second job, but do you have anything that you enjoy doing?
Well, I'm really into the arts. I grew up that way. I'm originally from the Heights, which I don't think most people know is, the historical part. It's called the Sixth Ward. There's a bunch there's a lot of wards. So where I'm from is called the Sixth Ward. It's known as the Heights. It's very bougie now, but I'm telling you right now.
Back in the day, it
was not. Bougie. I'm originally from there, and then we eventually moved out here. So I grew up having an appreciation for the arts. I still go to musicals with my sisters. I'm going to the symphony next week.
Oh, wow.
Just cool. Something that takes a lot of time and effort to prepare. I have so much respect for the people that are not only performing, but are behind the scenes, getting those scripts created, the lighting, the sets,
the crew, everything. That's
everything.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So that's a big one.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
Do you have have you been to Broadway? I'm sure you have.
I have never been to New York.
You've never been to New York?
I'm going in June.
That's right.
June.
That's right. June. But do you have a favorite musical?
I would say anything Rodgers and Hammerstein. So Oklahoma, South Pacific, all of those movies are some of my favorites. I would watch those with Disney, but which is probably kind of random, but I like. There's a movie called Gigi's. I would say almost all of the musicals are my favorite.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
Those are fun things. Mine's Mamma Mia.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Mamma Mia's good.
Mamma Mia.
I was like, ooh.
That's my mother's. My mother got me into Mamma Mia, so shout out her.
Wow, shout out. So other than a deep appreciation of the art, if you just had to cut everything off, what would you do at home?
What would I do? I would.
What would you like to do downtown?
Downtown. And not work.
Well, downtown. Yeah. What would you do downtown?
I would nap. No, I like to fish. I think I going to my farm and just disconnecting and reconnecting with the beauty around us. Right. I just have a found appreciation for quiet and being around family and just anything like that.
And you got to be quiet during fishing. People really don't know that. You got to be quiet.
I love
that's awesome.
You know what? That's actually, we don't get many women that say, I like to fish in my downtown.
We do not.
Candace is very unique.
But it's a great thing to do. You turn your mind off when you fish. You really do.
Yeah.
And so
you got a unique blend of the city girl, Heights, and then the Katy, the country. Like you kind of can go both sides.
You can do both.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I still have family in Houston, so if I want some, and every time I go back, it's like I'm home. It's very chaotic with crazy drivers and
lights and streets and honking the horn.
The highways are crazy, but when I'm there, I'm like, this is home. Like,
people giving you the finger in traffic.
Yep. People still do that.
My sister's like behind me doing the same thing. So I'm like, see, we're from here.
We're from here, I promise. No, that's great.
Right.
Well, I think we're going to do something that we've never done before. We're going to try some barbecue on the podcast for the first time.
We're bringing food on the podcast.
Yes. We want to thank our amazing team, Valentina and Madison, for getting this for us.
Tony, make this thing happen. All these guys.
Thank you guys.
This is exciting.
This is awesome.
Yeah, this is
awesome.
In Houston, Texas, we've got the barbecue.
We do.
If you don't know,
we do.
We've got. I will put it up against anybody.
Yep.
Anybody.
Yeah. So do you know, since you grew up in Katy, can you tell us a little about Midway? I tried to get it and I just couldn't order it. I didn't get it in time, but can you tell us a little bit about Midway since you know about it?
I've never tried it either.
They catered my wedding. So
they catered your wedding.
maybe a little biased. No, it started in a small shopping center in Old Town Katy. So now they have a deer processing, and then they, I guess, blew up into this large thing. So there's nothing really special about it, but they have some of the best jerky ever. Yeah.
Where are they located?
Downtown Katy off of 90.
Look at me.
I'm having to question myself. I'm like 90 Avenue D. It's like right where Snappy's is. So if you know Snappy's, which my mom does, she goes there all the time. So
I love Rudy's.
Thank you, Walker, for putting that
I
together.
mean, this was them. This was this great team. We had to do it for Candace. Candace
Absolutely.
is she's the cowgirl in all of us.
Absolutely.
So
yeehaw.
Absolutely.
that's the next week with Nye.
Dude, you should do wings with Nye.
Well, Nye wants ice cream
I'm not surprised.
and milk.
I'm not surprised. But milk and
Yeah,
ice.
he says, "Hey, I need a pint of ice cream and I need a glass of milk." I said, "You realize those are the exact same thing. One's just frozen, right?"
Exactly.
So
Maybe he was just messing with you. I think it would be fun to do. What is that show where you can test the wings out?
yeah, like the hotter.
Oh.
Yeah, I know exactly. We don't
would
have to
be-
do that.
we
You
gotta
have
do
to do
that.
it like at the end of the day,
You know
just in
who-
case someone's like, "Oh, I gotta go home."
You know who would be perfect with that? Steven.
Steven.
Steven would be perfect on that. All right. Well, Steven will win Employee of the Month or something, and we'll have him on here. You know,
Steven would be good at that.
he'd be very good at that. He
I
does the
would,
thing
and
with the
I'll watch.
drumsticks.
We're gonna have the
like
core
with the,
compass cooking contest. We're gonna taste.
That'd be fun.
tasting. Yeah, we're gonna.
and you know, now is barbecue your favorite food? We asked this a couple episodes
good
ago.
question.
Yeah, is,
That's
is
right.
barbecue
No,
favorite
it's not
food?
my favorite. I'm definitely a foodie.
Okay, so what's your favorite food?
I don't even know if I can think of it. Probably Mexican food.
Okay.
Oh, you can't go wrong with Tex-Mex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The authentic or the Tex-Mex?
Tex-Mex,
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean,
That's
I
it.
love everything. I'm
Okay.
really, there's nothing that I won't eat
Okay.
for the most part.
That's fair.
Okay.
Mine is. I said this last week and got a reaction from everybody. Mine's chocolate cake. So
No, the reaction was we said if you had one food to eat the rest of your life, I'm gonna bring some clarity to this.
And you'll be diabetic.
That's right.
So
and
that's
he's
great.
gonna die.
it has
And he
eggs. It
said-
has flour.
and he
It has
said
all the
cake.
nutrients that you need.
Yeah,
And he doubled down on that.
I
Ken.
did.
More
He
power
doubled
to
down
you.
on it.
That's all I would eat. That's all
Yeah.
I would eat.
That's funny.
And what he said, Nye is you're bringing what again?
Ice cream and milk. That's what he gets.
Okay, I won't be partaking in that.
Nope. We're just
I can
gonna
tell
we're
you
gonna
right
put
now.
that on
we
that
won't have
side.
a we won't
I
have
think
a
it's the
podcast
randomness of
if you know
that.
what I mean.
Yeah. It is the randomness of him.
Yeah.
It'll be the randomness of him. So Candace, getting back to you and we
We're
can get
gonna
away
have
from
some more of
Nye.
this.
No, yeah, this is fine.
Talking about your writing career. My fiance is lucky enough that she has your book in her classroom.
Look at that.
and
Thank
so-
you. You make me blush.
Talk to us about kind of how you got started in writing and, you know, what kind of stuff you like to write and all those questions.
So it's kind of ironic because I didn't want to talk about it on the podcast, but outside of my work, I do acting.
Well, I thought you.
But there's a
Jeez.
Okay.
there's a moral
Okay.
to that. Like not even if moral's the right word, but
I don't think she have
There-
enough hats.
It laps
there's,
around.
There's
That's
a
right.
reason. Okay, so and I'll be very. I guess I'll give cliff notes on
There
this.
you go.
So I thought that's what I wanted to do, and I still, I get auditions regularly, and I do these projects. But then I started noticing that I wanted, I could be behind the scenes, and then there's other aspects of writing, right?
Yeah.
So I got my degree during the pandemic. I went back to school with Arizona State.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah, I graduated
Yeah.
with my degree in film and media.
Yep.
So I had to write a ton of scripts and do a lot of synopsises and watch movies and I was totally in my element.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I realized that I had a fondness of writing and bringing stories and ideas to life. And it took me doing a study abroad program.
Really?
Had some amazing professors, executives from high-end production companies that came in and just give ideas on how they create scripts and movies. And some of the most successful movies come from them walking just through an airport
Got it.
and looking at a clip on a magazine, or that's where their ideas come from. So I'm like, okay, well, if they can do that, then what else can be done just from the everyday life of just observing
Right.
people?
Right.
So yeah, I started with children's books because I thought it was a little bit easier. I did write a script. I haven't done any production yet, but I did win several awards for that in the circuit.
That's
But
awesome.
I saw
Thank
that. Congrats.
Yeah.
Thank you. And so I started with children's books. bringing, and it's honestly the turtle. It's called Emmy's World. It started off of Hayes not listening.
Really?
And he wanted me to tell him a story, and I was like, well, there once was a turtle who her name was Emmy, And
There you go.
He started loving that. And so, yeah, it kind of just morphed into this thing that I didn't expect. And I'm like, well, let me see where this can go.
Mm-hmm.
So it started with Emmy's World, Stay Close Emmy. And now I did Emmy's World Farm Days based off my farm. And I did really well with it on Amazon. I got best new release for that category.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's an amazing book. It really is.
Thank you.
Shout out.
And I got really lucky with my illustrator. So she's from Indonesia, and she's very talented. And I keep in touch with her, and she's actually redoing my first book, so they can kind of match in the series.
So
That's
Hayes
cool.
inspired that book.
Yeah, his listening skills totally.
His listening skills.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Where did you study abroad?
Well, they said study abroad, but it was just Los Angeles.
Oh, it's still abroad.
So yeah, it was during the COVID pandemic, and so it was really good. It was just a week, but it was very beneficial for everything.
That's
and
awesome.
Wow.
The things I learned, and the people that led me were some of the best people I've ever met.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Thanks.
That's
So
so
I
cool.
want to actually go back to the farm. Tell us, how is life like? Like, how do you keep up with it? What do y'all do? Take us through that.
So yeah, I'm really lucky. The farm is at my father-in-law's house because he's got several acres here in Katy, and he does most of the work. I would say he does more work than I do, but I do quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got our chickens. They're free range, so they're not in the coop all day long.
I heard chicken prices are going up and eggs and all that
Eggs are
stuff.
so
Yeah.
expensive.
It's good to know if y'all
Yeah,
have
I'm
another
sitting on
one.
gold.
Yeah, y'all
I
are. Yeah.
Just go to Candace. I need 4 eggs.
That's right.
Yeah, so I mean, it's pretty easy. It's kind of funny. Around they feed at 7:00 in the morning, and then at 4:00 in the afternoon, and they all go to their stations. So
They all know where to go and
they
everything.
all know where to
They
go.
train chickens.
Yeah, and Colonel, he's the horse, and
Yeah.
he he's the leader of that pack, so he has to be fed first.
Got
so
it.
we feed him
Makes
first,
sense.
and then Lady May comes into her little coop, and we feed her, and then the cows have their stations,
Yep.
and then the chickens run in, and we feed them. It's it kind of operates for
organized.
itself. It's
Yeah.
not anything that we have to do. We
Yeah.
just feed them
Right.
and get the hay and their feed.
All the fun stuff.
Does
Yeah.
Hayes like it?
He loves it.
So he loves that.
Loves it.
Animals and all that stuff.
He's a
Yes.
country boy.
I don't think
Very
he had
much.
a choice. I don't think he had a choice, Walker. He's gonna have to.
Yeah, he
love
may
that.
have. He may have just
think
kind of
he's gonna
like.
have a choice.
I
Yeah.
don't think any of them had a choice.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, I'm here. I have a cow.
Yeah.
And then, hey, I just bought some more. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
but they've been really supportive, and they help a lot on weekends.
That's great.
I work, most Saturdays and Sundays out there. There's a lot to do
Yeah.
that we can't get to during the week. Yeah,
Yeah.
we feed them during the week, but you have stalls to clean out, and
Yep.
you have certain things that you have to do, and
Making sure like they're up to date on shots and all that fun stuff.
All that stuff, yeah.
And more so, I don't really do shots. We did shots when we first got them,
Yeah.
but we got to deworm them, and in the chutes and stuff, just
Yeah.
to make sure they don't get their worms and stuff
Yep.
like that.
All
So-
those fun things.
So you guys
Yeah,
made it
so-
a family thing, basically,
yes,
kind of.
because it's super therapeutic for everybody.
Family that farms together stays together.
Yeah.
Y'all heard
Exactly.
Candace.
Yeah,
That's
so-
awesome.
Yeah, we have our first little cow or calf that our Jersey cow had, and she's a really pretty little thing. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How big is a stall, like the animals? If you had to put a number, how many animals?
How
you
many
have on
animals
the
do I
farm?
have? For the one here, oh gosh, I think it's just like 10. So,
Just 10.
well, it's probably more than that
Just
because
10,
we
yeah.
just got 4 new chickens.
Yeah.
So we have 8 chickens. So
How
nine
about 15.
chickens, so 8 chickens and a rooster, and then we have a barn cat. And,
Yeah.
Yep.
And so Colonel, Lady May, the bull, and 3 cows. So
Oh my goodness. My friend Zach,
Wow.
he has a ranch in Lexington. He got chickens, and he I would call him, be like, hey, what are you doing this weekend? He goes, I'm going to take care of the chickens. Like, leave me alone. I'm going to take care of the chickens. We went up and saw them. They are huge.
Yeah.
It's just crazy what y'all dive into.
Oh, yeah.
And it's so cool.
Yeah, I wouldn't make it. I'm a city boy. I probably.
I'd like to think I'm a country boy, but at the same
Nah,
time, I don't know if
I'm-
I could do that.
it's funny because animals, for the most part, take care of themselves.
Yeah.
The rooster protects their
Yeah.
group, and
Yeah.
our rooster, his name's Robert, which is
Robert the rooster.
we got him from our neighborhood. We live in a small,
Robert the Rooster.
we live in a pretty large community, and I guess someone was trying to get chickens,
Yeah.
and they moved, and Robert was left behind, and we ended up capturing him like kind of like Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
He's like in the dog kennel. I didn't feed him for 2 days, and then my husband had like the feed in there, and we're behind it with the rope, and then he goes in there, and we're like, got him,
Wow.
So, I know. So he won the jackpot on that, but he takes care of his group of girls.
Yeah.
So, and they just walk around, and it's kind of crazy to see how animals adapt into their environment.
That's an awesome
You
thing.
don't see that all the time.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
How do y'all keep up with the protection of them? Because y'all and Katie and out there and animals and carnivores and all kind of stuff. How do y'all keep up with that?
Right. So the first two, I guess, pastures that we have, they're for the chickens, and we let the bull in there too when he eats. But that's where they free range. We have the gates protected with the chicken wires. And we did lose one chicken just a few weeks ago to a chicken hawk, but she was always wandering off.
She didn't understand.
I was like, you didn't understand the
you didn't get the
assignment.
game.
Like, you need to stay in your group.
Bad things happen.
Yeah.
They don't understand.
She went outside her lane.
Yeah.
Yeah,
she did.
yeah.
So we have like
Life
little,
lesson.
we
Life
have
lesson.
little things that are on the fences that, that kind of deter people. And I tried, my father-in-law wanted to get one of those blow up things.
Yeah.
To keep people away.
Yeah. To keep everything away, even the chickens, they want to come out. So
That's fair.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Your life on the farm is amazing.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So you're working on something new for Core Group.
Yes.
It has a name that
my eyes twitching because I know where this is going.
it makes me think about how to say this, but I'm going to try my best.
Try it.
ISO 9001.
Yeah, what's called? I just call it ISO, but
Okay.
it's something that is a long, drawn out process where it's going to take several people to help me with, outsiders to get the certification. But it's basically just saying that this is who we are, how we operate. We have manuals and processes and policies that are going to protect ourselves and our clients and the people who work for us. And we're doing what we say we do, and there aren't going to be any holes in our operations. And if there are holes, this is how we'll fix it. So our clients won't lose money should something falls out. Because, let's face it, people come, they go, and there's things that happen. I'm dealing with incidences on a regular basis. So
every day.
it's up to us to make sure that we are operating very smoothly and that our clients are trusting us to do what we say we do.
Yeah.
So that's very much a nutshell of what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot. I hear you going around asking people, and basically this is going to take Core Group kind of to the next level, correct?
Yeah. And it's something I've been a part of for my old client or my old companies. So this is nothing new for me, but it's very new for a lot of people here.
It is.
So I try to be mindful of guiding and then just kind of explaining this part is very small. If I assign something, this part is very small to the whole entire picture. But it will set us apart for a lot of the clients that we're trying to go after, or potential clients.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is. And I've had the experience to recruit HSE managers and coordinators, and that's one of the things that we had to look for with that ISO certification. So we're moving toward that now, right?
So isn't it great to see things you're recruiting for it, but now you see it internally?
Right.
It's one of the coolest things. We were in a meeting and you said, "Hey, I need like a document controller, or I need or a coordinator. I'm looking for that right now." And when you said that, I was like, I know what that is.
Right.
I don't know how. I know what that is. So
pretty cool.
Yeah, that is one of the coolest things that we do.
How long does that take, Candace, to get that certified for that whole process?
Well, once we get all of our policies are pretty much there. It's just kind of streamlining it and getting it organized.
Okay.
And we'll do a pre-audit, and then we'll have the auditors come in. So once the auditors come in, if we're doing what we say we do, then it should take about 6 months to get the official certification. It's kind of like a permit, right?
Yeah.
You say you can do it this way, but let's make sure you're not going to mess up.
Yep.
And then they'll come back and finish the audits out. And then you say you're doing this way. I can confirm it. Here you go.
Wow. And that gives us that extra credibility. We just, that's cool.
And I think we're getting there. We're getting to that point where we need to have that happen because we're growing and we're in the awkward teenage stage of our company. And I think this will just set us to the next level of maturity.
That's cool.
So it'll be a process. It'll take time, but
that's cool.
We'll get there.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you definitely are spearheading that, which we love.
Yeah.
So, you said that you worked with health and safety, your HSE side. What are some things that, you deal with on a daily basis on that side? And what are, without going into too much detail about the incidents, what are some of the craziest incidents you've
We got to get
deal
one
with?
story. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask.
I'm trying to think.
You can write a book on that.
I
I'm
think
sure.
it's entertaining, right? And sometimes there are real incidences where I am extreme, like the guy I was just talking to. That was a real incident. I've had intoxication stories where guys go missing, and I'm having to be like, "Hey, where did you go?" And so those have been some of my bigger things. I'm trying to think of the craziest stories. I think more recently it was more so, "Hey, your guy showed to the job really drunk. Can we get him off site?" And then that next client, it was, "Hey, this person was on their onshore break. I don't know. I can't remember what they're called, but he's not here." And then they found him pretty intoxicated. So those are some of the very minimal.
Yeah, those are the small things.
Those are some of the small ones. But then some of the guys do end up getting injured or sick. And then I kind of go into defense mode of like, how can I help them? What can I do to get them fixed and helped and cured? And they're very important to me and to us. So I make sure that how can I get you back to work for you and your family?
That's the goal.
Yeah, we got to figure out a different name other than contractors. I agree with you. We need to think of something fun.
That's why I call them my guys, but it still feels weird, but probably to other people. But I think there should be a different name.
We need a term that's like, those are the guys we put offshore. Those are the guys we put on crewing vessels.
Yeah,
so we need something fun.
That's a good homework assignment.
It is. Yeah, we can do that. So. We'll do that.
Yeah, because if you have a contractor, they're like, "Oh, I work for them," but they're not a part of it, but you really are a part of it. You are making a difference. Group. Yeah, you are core group.
Yeah, you are core group.
So I try to make sure I'm like, just because legally it says it's a contractor, I still feel like they're part
they're
of
one of
team.
us.
Yeah.
So when our guys are in crisis, until we get that name, when our guys are in crisis, they call you, right? I mean, you're the first point of contact, or how does that work?
Right. So they don't call me directly. I would hope that they will start, but some of them are so new, like it's their first hitch with us.
Yeah.
So it's actually the client contacting either myself or the account manager.
Yeah. Gotcha.
And so like the incidents this past weekend, the client contacted me directly.
Okay.
So he was like, "Hey, we got the situation. Let's fix it." And so I had it pretty much resolved within 3 hours. That morning, because he called me early in the morning. So, and then we followed up the following morning of like, "Hey, where did you go? Where it's go? We got to get you home. You're not going back to work." So So that's kind of how it works.
That's got to be fun.
That makes sense. So where do you see like the HSC side and like the logistics team? Where do you see it going in the next like 2 to 3 years?
I think it just depends on what our clients are needing. Because right now the logistics is very it's operating so smoothly. We have such a great team. And HSC, it can go anywhere. ISO, once that's implemented, then you'll have to have. I'm looking for a case coordinator right now to help with the incidences.
Somebody's going to see this and be like, we need somebody.
That's right.
Yes, this is your boss.
And then there could be document controllers. It could just be a beast of itself. So it's really just the ultimate need.
Yep.
I think that's how we react here. It's the need of our clients that we see that will stay, and then we kind of react. We're very reactive and not a manner that's too late. Does that make sense?
It's like, hey, we need this. Okay, let's go do it.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
And our leadership's very supportive. So if I come to them and say, "Hey, I'm maxed out. I'm hitting my final straw here.
I need something.
How can you help me?" There's a solution within days.
Right.
That's awesome.
Right. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, and this is another fun question I just got to ask. Out of all the hats you wear and talents you have, what would you say your hidden talent is?
My hidden, even if I've talked about it?
One.
Even if I've talked about it?
On the podcast?
Yeah. I don't know if I have a hidden talent.
What do you mean?
Did you know Matt May could whistle with his eyes?
No.
That was his hidden talent.
Now I'm going to Google how does someone...
And the beatbox. You remember that.
Matt
too.
Furman can beatbox.
And the beatbox.
Yeah.
I don't think I have
What's
a
a
hidden
surprise?
talent. I don't know.
You can ride a horse.
I think
I can ride a horse. I have hermit crabs that I like to Google about on the weekends.
Okay.
It's
Oh,
nerdy.
well.
That's good. So
Yeah.
why hermit crabs?
Well, I got drunk in Florida and I
Okay.
brought them home for my son, but he doesn't have any interest in them, and I can't stand to see something die. So I've had them for 2.5 years. I'm
Okay.
constantly Googling how do I keep them alive? So I
Yeah.
just this past weekend bought them a heating pad to keep their enclosure warm.
I didn't know that.
Oh,
And then they have like
They
this
can
great
actually-
they have a nice buffet where they have,
Talk about creating a climate for them.
Yeah.
right. It's like a whole climate,
Yeah.
right? Because they aren't bred in captivity. They're bred. I mean, they are taken off the beaches.
Yeah.
So it's a humid atmosphere, and I'm over here freezing them out in the Arctic weather.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll Google how I keep hermit crabs alive. So that was, I guess that's a hidden talent.
Hey,
I
no,
don't
that's
know.
Yeah.
that is.
That
Nobody
is
knew.
research.
Yeah, another hermit crab.
I'm
I
like,
wouldn't
just don't
chalk
get
that.
drunk and
Just
buy
don't get
hermit
drunk and
crabs.
get hermit crabs. That's
That's right.
That's what you should take away from this episode.
That's right. That's right. Well, we're at the segment of the Bible scripture. So,
Yeah.
So this one is on me here. I'm going to do John 11:25. And let me give you the backstory of it. Jesus was heard that his friend Lazarus, good friend Lazarus, had died.
Mm-hmm.
And the disciples and Martha said, hey, it's the shortest scripture in the Bible. He said Jesus wept.
Yep.
And he was saddened. And he didn't go until 2 days. And the disciples said, hey, he's died. What are you going to do about it? Martha even said, hey, if you would have showed up, he probably would have lived.
Mm-hmm.
But Jesus told him and said, I am the resurrection and I am the life. And simply what he was saying was he's the life now and he's the eternal life. So whatever your situation is, God can resurrect your situation. Just believe in him. And on that note, remember that he is the resurrection. He is the life. And you put your trust and all your confidence in him and he won't let you down.
Yep. Amen. That's amazing.
That's right.
Well, Candace, this has been awesome. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
joining us.
Thank you,
so much
Candace.
for
Like
having me.
like I said at the beginning, you're one of the hardest workers I know.
That's
you work
right.
so hard.
Thanks, y'all.
Every time I see you, you're either helping somebody or having fun. So
Yeah.
it's definitely an honor to work with you.
Thanks so much. Y'all are
Yeah.
doing such a great job with this, by the
Well,
way.
thank you,
So
Candace.
I
We have fun.
That
listen,
means a lot from a theater
Yeah.
background and
Yes.
author and all kind of stuff.
It's
Yeah.
very engaging, so y'all keep at it. And,
We try to.
Thank you.
Y'all keep going.
We
Yeah.
need some ideas.
We do.
So we need you on our idea team.
Just
We
let
will.
me know. I'm
Yeah,
there. It's
yeah.
the creative outlet that I need.
That's right.
Perfect.
That's right. That's
Well,
right.
we hope you guys have enjoyed this episode of the Core Compass
Yes.
podcast. You can find plenty of exciting content from other people like Candace on our blog and on our website with the link in the description below. Make sure you follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram at Core Group Resources. Guys, this has been amazing. We'll see you next time.
See you next week.